The survey vessel Acolyte's Truth had traveled 3,000 light-years beyond the charted boundaries of the Vithar Dominion. Its mission was archaeological, to catalog the remnants of early galactic civilizations, those who had risen and fallen before the era of synthesized harmony. What they found was not a ruin, but a perfect anomaly. It sat silent and motionless, deep within a swirling nebula of dust and ionized gas, a graveyard where energy shields failed and sensors went blind. It was a relic of the legendary Great Silence, the era when the humans had supposedly vanished. This ship was not made of the sleek, interwoven crystalline alloys the Dominion used. It was a crude, armored cylinder forged from iron and something unnervingly dense, its surface scarred by millennia of micrometeor strikes. It was archaic. It was monstrous. It was, impossibly, still intact. Dr. Krell, the lead xenoarchaeologist, broadcasted his find back to the Dominion capital. His voice, usually detached and academic, crackled with uncontainable awe. It is pristine, no power signature, no life signs. It is a museum, a monument to the primitives. The Dominion responded not with archaeologists, but with a full salvage detachment. 3 advanced research cruisers, shielded and armed, commanded by Commodore Zira, a military leader whose career was built on the careful extraction of valuable enemy tech. Zira's ship, the Immutable Will, powered down its primary reactors a safe distance away. There was no enemy here, only treasure. Commodore Zira addressed her boarding team. The asset has no active systems. We will breach the outer hull at the main ingress point. Remember, every component on this vessel is priceless. Do not damage it. This is a salvage, not an assault. The breaching team, led by Lieutenant File, extended a plasma cutter toward the hull. The cutter failed. Not because the ship was shielded, but because the plasma cutter's sensor array immediately detected that the hull material possessed an anti-cohesive density that warped the plasma field. It wasn't advanced. It was simply too thick, Field reported back. Commodore, we cannot breach the hull. It registers as a solid homogeneous mass. We estimate the outer layer alone is 3 meters of layered composite steel and ferrotungsten. Zira's voice sharpened. Are you telling me this ancient vessel is a solid metal brick? It appears to be, Commodore. No seams, no power conduits leading to the hull. It has been built to survive. Then we find the door, Zira snapped. They must have entered somehow. They spent 4 agonizing hours scanning the ship's surface, mapping every rivet, every scratch. Finally, deep beneath a layer of frozen sediment, they found it, a single recessed hatch marked with faded, indecipherable human glyphs. As the team prepared to enter, the entire ancient ship shuddered. It was not an explosion. It was the sound of something mechanical and immense grinding to life. In the Immutable Will's tactical center, the main sensor monitor, which had shown nothing but dark space, suddenly displayed a green operational indicator originating from the human vessel's core. Commodore, power surge detected. A technician cried out. Internal core active. Energy signature is non-standard. It's clean thermal power, primitive but massive, Zira scoffed. A delayed boot up, predictable. Isolate their comms. Inform them we are salvage. We mean no harm, negative, Commodore. The ship has no comms array. It has no external broadcast systems at all. But it has begun transmitting something. What is it transmitting? It's a single tone, repeating, a deep pulsing chord, and a data packet. 1 packet, repeating every 20 seconds, Zira frowned. Translate the packet. The tactical AI analyzed the data packet. It was not encrypted. It was a simple, sequential threat assessment. Translation complete, Commodore. The packet reads, threat detected. Threat level high, deploy countermeasures, Zira paled. But we made no aggressive moves. We are inert. Send a coded signal, identify us as non-hostile observers. Negative, Commodore. The system has no receiving array. It's a purely defensive system. It only knows we are here, and therefore we are a threat. The ancient ship began to move, slowly with the terrible inertia of a mountain shifting. It began to turn, facing the Immutable Will. From the ship's sides, massive industrial ports, mistaken for atmospheric vents, opened. They were not firing ports, they were weapon manufactories. Inside the ports, the alien sensors detected massive, automated machinery running on the single thermal core. It was not producing energy bolts or plasma. It was extruding solid metal rods, shaping them, loading them into cannons, and preparing to fire. It's manufacturing its own munitions on demand. File yelled over the comms. Its defense system is an automated factory. It's making kinetic rounds. Zira stared, horrified. Kinetic? Primitive. Engage shields. Prepare to return fire with particle beams. The human ship fired. The projectile was simple, a dense hypervelocity slug of ferro-tungsten traveling at near light speed. It hit the immutable will's shields. The particle beam shields held easily. The projectile vaporized, shields holding at 98%. The technician reported, a smug note of relief in his voice. The primitive weaponry is ineffective, but then the analysis came back. Commodore. The slug did not attempt to overload the shields. Its density and velocity were tuned to a specific resonant frequency of our shield matrix. The hit did not break the shield, but it vibrated the shield's structural integrity, creating microfractures. How many more can it fire? Zira demanded, her voice losing its edge of confidence. The manufacturing system has a rapid throughput. Analysis estimates it can produce and fire 70 slugs per minute with no external supply chain. It will simply continue to manufacture mass until the threat is eliminated. The terrifying realization struck Zira. They were not fighting a sophisticated weapon. They were fighting a factory designed to exploit a single weakness until the target collapsed. Zira ordered a full strategic retreat. Target their engine core. We must disable their propulsion before it can create more structural damage. The immutable will fired its main particle beams. The beams, designed to melt through hardened alloys, struck the ancient ship. The heat was absorbed. The metal on the human ship began to glow cherry red, then white, then a sickening blue. But the ship did not break. Instead, the heat was channeled by a network of surface capillaries and vents, drawing the energy away from the core. It is self-cooling, File screamed. The primitive design acts as a massive thermal heat sink. Our own weapons are supplying its core with power. The human ship, now bathed in the heat of the Dominion's own attack, began to fire faster. 70 rounds per minute became 75, then 80. The immutable will's shields groaned. The microfractures created by the repeated hits were stacking, multiplying. Zira was trembling. Its logic is terrifyingly simple. It has no weakness. Its defense is the endurance of brute matter. The chief engineer, a Dregarin, rushed into the tactical center. Commodore, we analyzed the atmospheric compression readings as the ship turned. It wasn't designed for maneuverability. It was designed to ram things. Its entire structure is a single, heavily armored spear. They realized the absolute horror of the machine. It didn't need shields, complex weapons, or a supply chain. It had one defense: endure and obliterate. Zira ordered the fleet to disperse and fire at low power, hoping to disrupt the manufacturing process without refueling the ship. Too late. The ancient ship had already calculated the exact point of collapse. A final, massive projectile was fired. Not a slug, but a solid spike of ferro-tungsten, manufactured and launched with perfect resonant frequency. The immutable will shield collapsed with a silent implosion of energy. The spike did not stop. It tore through the command bridge, carving a clean, silent path of destruction. The Dominion ships, horrified, turned and fled, abandoning the sector. The Dominion lost 2 cruisers and over 5,000 crew, all to one silent, dead ship from the era of the Great Silence. The ancient ship drifted back to its place in the Nebula, its energy signature slowly fading. The manufacturing port sealed. It was silent once more. Days later, a lone rogue smuggler's vessel dared to approach the abandoned human ship. They bypassed the silent floating wreckage of the Dominion fleet. They used a specialized energy beam, very low power and non-hostile, to finally cut a shallow window into the hull, hoping to peer inside the cockpit. What they saw was not a weapon, not a treasure. Deep within the silent armored vault, sitting perfectly preserved in a simple cryopod, was a single, peaceful human figure, and on a dusty console next to the pod, a simple, faded plaque, "Do not disturb." The ship had not been a defensive perimeter for a command center. It was a doorbell. And its automated warning system had been tragically and brutally clear.